This lion was carefully stalking its potential prey. The two unsuspecting targets were a pair of hyenas scavenging the remains of a nearby carcass. The hyenas, distracted, were oblivious to the danger approaching them. With steady, silent steps, the lion moved forward. He knew that any mistake could give away his presence and make the prey run away. The hyenas remained distracted, their backs to the predator, as he drew closer. That's when the big cat decided to make his move. With a powerful burst, he sprang into a short sprint. The hyenas realized it too late. One of them managed to leap away and run in panic, but the other wasn't so lucky. With a precise pounce, the lion struck the unsuspecting hyena. Throwing all his weight onto her, the force of the impact knocked her violently to the ground. Trapped beneath the predator's massive body, the hyena struggled, but her efforts were in vain. The big cat sank his sharp teeth into the victim's neck, completely immobilizing her. The other hyena, who had escaped, stopped at a safe distance and turned to watch the scene. Her eyes reflected a mix of fear and indecision, but she knew that if she tried to interfere, she might share the same fate as her companion. So she just watched as the lion finished his hunt. With firm movements, the predator tightened his bite even more, slowly ending the victim's life. There was no rush. He knew he was the master of that moment. A few minutes passed until the hyena finally gave in, blind still. The lion then secured his meal. In today's video, we'll show you several other unbelievable recordings of animals getting the worst of it in the animal kingdom. Number 10. In the wild expanse of Australia, a fateful encounter was about to happen. This wildcat was wandering in search of food. Its agile and watchful movements kept it alert, but not even its caution would be enough to avoid the predator watching it closely. A monitor lizard, a large and powerful reptile, was lying in wait. Its sharp eyes watched the feline, and its forked tongue picked up the scent of its prey in the air. With a sudden and calculated move, the lizard lunged forward with surprising speed, grabbing the cat before it could react. The monitor lizard's bite was precise and powerful. It clamped down hard on the feline. The cat, desperate, cried out for help. The reptile's strength was overwhelming. With its prey firmly clamped in its jaws, the lizard began to shake its head violently, from side to side, using its muscular strength to disorient and further weaken the cat. The feline, now immobilized, had no chance of escape. Its movements grew weaker and weaker as the lizard increased the pressure of his jaws. The force of the bite not only caused unbearable pain, but also made it hard for the cat to breathe. The desperation in its eyes began to fade, giving way to exhaustion. Soon after, the wildcat succumbed. The monitor lizard, relentless, dragged its prey's lifeless body into the dense vegetation, where it could devour it calmly and safely. The scene was a brutal reminder of how the food chain works. Would you save the cat from the monitor lizard's attack, monitor? Or would you just watch the attack? Leave your answer below in the comments. Number 9. This pack of African wild dogs worked in perfect harmony. They surrounded a herd of wildebeest in search of food. However, the wild beasts, despite their awkward appearance, were not easy prey. When the dogs charged, the herd quickly organized and counterattacked with quick, threatening horn thrusts. The confrontation turned into a chaotic scene. The wild beast snorted and struck while the dogs tried to coordinate their attacks. The commotion caught the attention of a pair of lions resting nearby. The big cats raised their heads, alert to the turmoil. The sound of battle. It was an irresistible invitation for such opportunistic predators. Quickly, the lions got up and headed to the scene. When the big cats arrived, the scene erupted into a stampede. The wild beasts scattered in all directions. The wild dogs, aware of the danger the lions posed, also began to disperse. The pair of hunters, powerful and calculating, paused for a moment, assessing the situation. They knew that a wildebeest would offer much more meat than a wild dog, and their choice was clear. With their eyes fixed on an older, tired wildebeest that couldn't keep up with the rest of the herd, the lions began the chase and captured it. The herbivore, though exhausted, fought with all its strength. It knew that falling meant its end, so it stayed on its feet, even as the lions charged at it. One predator attacked it directly, trying to bite and bring down the herbivore. The other stood guard, making sure the wild dogs, who had returned to the scene, didn't get close. Whenever a wild dog tried to get close, the lion would quickly lunge forward, making it clear that the prey was now theirs. The pack watched, frustrated but unable to challenge the powerful felines. The wild beast resisted bravely, but time was merciless. Its strength faded with every second, while the lions remained tireless. After long minutes of struggle, exhaustion finally overcame the herbivore. It collapsed to the ground, marking the end of its resistance. The lion pair wasted no time, and one of them quickly finished off the wild beast. With their victim down, the felines finally began their meal, consuming the prize of their hunt and reaffirming their status as the supreme predators of the savanna. Number 8. The waters of this tropical river, the calm hid a cunning predator. This trahera, a carnivorous fish known for its agility and voracity, moves slowly beneath the surface. On the riverbank, some pigeons gathered to drink. The birds, distracted and confident, bent down to drink, unaware of the danger approaching. The trahera fish, patient and strategic, swam silently so as not to arouse suspicion. Its powerful jaw was ready to strike, but it knew it had to wait for the perfect moment. For long seconds, the fish remained motionless, watching the bird's movements. Its focus was on a pigeon that, distracted, kept bending down to drink water. Until finally the moment arrived. The pigeon leaned down once more, and at that instant, the trahera made its move. With an explosive burst of speed, the fish leapt out of the water in a light and fast attack. His body lunged forward, and its jaw grabbed the pigeon with terrifying precision. The strike was so quick and unexpected that the bird had no time to react or even see where the attack came from. The sound of the impact was brief, but it was enough to scare the other birds, which took off in a panic. As the trahera disappeared with its prey into the water, the pigeon, unable to break free, was quickly subdued by the strength of the predatory fish. The scene was a perfect example of the effectiveness of its hunting techniques, showing why this species is one of the most feared predators in the rivers where it lives. Did you already know about this carnivorous fish species? Tell us in the comments. Number 7. This tiger was stalking a robust and distracted wild boar. The boar was rooting around in the soil looking for food. The big cat knew it would need patience and precision to secure its meal. With silent movements, the tiger crept closer, hiding among the tall vegetation. The distance between the predator and the boar was shrinking little by little. When it was close enough, the tiger decided to charge. It lunged at high speed toward the wild boar. The sound of the predator's footsteps and its roar shattered the calm of the forest, making the boar realize the danger. But the fright was so intense that, instead of running away, the prey dashed straight toward the predator, completely disoriented. For the tiger, this was an unexpected gift. With a swift move, it intercepted the boar, sinking its sharp claws into the prey. The boar fought desperately, trying to break free from the tiger. But the big cat held it tight, using the full weight of its body to keep control. The battle the tiger expected to be quick turned out to be challenging. The boar was strong and tough, fighting with all its might to survive. The two animals grappled, rolling through the vegetation in a fierce struggle. The tiger, with its teeth and claws, tried to reach a vital spot, but the boar, with its strength and determination, resisted bravely. Long minutes passed, and the fight seemed endless. The boar, though exhausted, was still trying to escape. But the tiger, experienced and determined, used its final strategy. He brought down his prey with a precise blow and put all his weight on the boar, preventing it from moving. The predator's overwhelming strength finally broke the victim's resistance. With the boar immobilized, the tiger was finally able to deliver the final bite. The prey's grunting grew weaker and weaker until it stopped completely. The predator had won the duel. Were you rooting for the boar or the tiger? Tell us in the comments. Number 6. This alligator was resting when a curious little cat approached. It started to take slow, silent steps toward the alligator. At first, the reptile had no interest in the feline, but the alligator realized that the cat probably wanted to provoke him. When the cat was very close, the reptile turned its head toward the feline and started moving in the cat's direction. The feline, realizing the danger, slowly backed away, keeping its eyes fixed on the reptile, ready to react at the slightest sign of an attack. Suddenly, the alligator lunged. With a quick and surprising leap, it opened its jaws in a precise attack. At that very moment, the cat leapt high into the air with impressive agility, narrowly escaping the predator's jaws. In this other scene, the cat is in a river and notices something strange also swimming nearby. He decided to check out what it was, but made the worst choice of his life because it was a large alligator. The reptile heads toward the unsuspected feline. The alligator, as it got closer, delivered a precise and powerful bite, grabbing the cat with all his strength. The predator dragged its prey and soon after sank into the river to finish off its victim. This is one of its hunting strategies. After taking down the cat, the alligator even approached the person filming, as if it wanted to show off the prize from its hunt. Number 5. Under the scorching savanna sun, this zebra was grazing peacefully. Its ears moved occasionally, alert to the sounds around it, but it seemed confident that the open field offered safety. Little did it know that in the distance, a lioness was watching with hungry eyes. The feline remained motionless, calculating the exact moment to attack. With quickened steps, she began to approach, keeping out of the zebra's line of sight. When she was close enough, the lioness burst into a sprint. The zebra, realizing the danger, bolted, trying to escape. However, as fast as it was, the lioness was even faster. In just a few seconds, the predator caught up to its prey, leaping onto its back, and knocked it down with a precise blow. The zebra fell, but its survival instinct took over. In a desperate move, it quickly got back up and tried to run again, though it was clearly weakened. The lioness, however, was not about to let her prey get away. With another precise strike, she brought the zebra down once more, biting hard to immobilize it. At that moment, a second lioness appeared. Drawn by the scene, she ran swiftly and joined the hunt. Together, the two predators worked in perfect harmony. While one bit into the zebra's belly, the other sank her teeth into the prey's snout, cutting off any chance of resistance. The zebra, despite fighting with all his strength, couldn't break free from the lioness's relentless grip. Within minutes, its resistance was overcome, and the savanna fell silent once again. The triumphant lionesses began to devour their catch, satisfying the hunger that had driven them up to that moment. Were you rooting for the zebra to escape the lioness's attack? Let us know in the comments below. Number 4. This brave honey badger was walking through the vegetation. It's an animal known for its fierce determination and courage, and at that moment, fate had led him to an area where a leopard was walking. The feline, relaxed and unaware of the little intruder's approach, showed no interest in comfort. The badger, however, had only one thing on his mind. With his typical boldness, he approached, threatening with his cries and aggressive stance, not caring about the size of the predator in front of him. At first, the leopard wasn't bothered. He watched the badger with alert eyes, as if expecting the smaller animal to give up its provocations. But the badger's persistence went beyond what the feline expected. With a quick movement, the leopard finally lost his patience. He leapt toward the badger and delivered a series of quick blows, striking the intruder's body with precision. The honey badger, however, didn't give in an inch. Injured but with uncontrollable rage, he kept advancing against the feline. His resilience and courage drove him to ignore the pain. The leopard, surprised by the badger's endurance, kept landing quick, powerful blows, trying to drive him away. But the badger, with his reckless behavior, wouldn't back down. After several blows, the badger, now clearly wounded and exhausted, began to realize that his fight against the leopard might cost him more than he was willing to pay. It was then that, with one last defiant look, the badger retreated. He knew his body couldn't take much more, and maybe it was wiser to run away now, before it was too late. Number 3. These lions, as usual, were patrolling their territory in search of any sign of intruders. The members of the pride moved with heightened attention, their eyes alert to the vastness of the land. When they reached an area of dense vegetation, the lions spotted something strange. An intruding crocodile was resting there. When he noticed the lions, the crocodile, with his massive body and imposing stance, didn't hesitate to react. With a quick and precise movement, he lunged forward, showing off his powerful jaws and an aggressive stance. Realizing the lions were starting to surround him, the reptile quickly turned his neck and tried to grab one of the big cats with his jaws. The lions quickly backed off, startled by the speed and precision of the attack. The crocodile, with the experience gained over years as a predator, knew exactly how to protect himself and react to any movement. He never turned his back on the big cats, always keeping his jaws open and his body in constant motion, ready to strike at any moment. The big cat spent a few minutes trying to find a gap in the crocodile's defense, but without success. The crocodile was extremely well positioned. The leader of the pride looked at his companions, assessing the situation. In a final move, the lions decided to retreat, respecting the crocodile's strength, who continued to watch the big cats closely. Were you rooting for the lions or the crocodile? Let us know in the comments. Number 2. These hyenas were on the lookout for an opportunity to feed, and in the distance, they spotted a wild dog that had strayed from its group. Driven by hunger and the chance to attack one of the most vulnerable members of a pack, the hyenas quickly closed in. In a coordinated move, they attacked, grabbing the wild dog with their powerful jaws. The sound of the battle caught the attention of other wild dogs who, upon realizing that one of their members was being captured, didn't hesitate to react. Within seconds, the pack, made up of 30 wild dogs, moved as one. They ran toward the scene of the attack, determined to rescue their companion. The noise of the chase, mixed with the cries of the hyenas and wild dogs, creating a true symphony of chaos on the savannah. The hyenas, initially confident in their capture, realized they had underestimated the strength of the wild dog pack. The hyenas, despite their aggressiveness and resilience, felt the weight of being at a disadvantage. They were outnumbered, and the attack from so many fierce mouths turned out to be much harder to withstand than they had imagined. They retreated, now aware of the danger of trying to attack the wild dog. Number 1, this little buffalo calf, still unsure and inexperienced, wandered a bit away from the group. The rest of the herd remained farther away, searching for food. And the young buffalo, unaware of the dangers around him, grazed peacefully, far from his relatives. Some hyenas that were out hunting spotted the calf alone. An opportunity presented itself to them. They quickly moved in. Without the protection of the herd, the calf seemed like easy prey. With a swift move, the hyenas attacked, biting and pulling the young buffalo, who tried to fight back but didn't have the strength or experience to defend himself alone. The frightened calf let out a loud cry of distress. The moment he cried out, the herd of buffalo, which was far away, immediately noticed the call. The adult buffalo, with their sharp senses, reacted quickly. They raised their heads and started running toward the sound of the calf in danger. The calf's mother was by far the fastest. With her heart pounding, she charged ahead at full speed. In her protective fury, the mother reached the hyenas before they could do more harm to her calf. She drove one of the hyenas away, which, wounded, quickly retreated. The rest of the buffalo herd arrived at the scene, charging in as an unstoppable force. The hyenas, now realizing that attacking the calf wouldn't be as easy as they thought, began to retreat. They didn't want to face the immense power of an entire herd of 50 enraged buffalo. The buffalo began to attack fiercely. Every movement from the adults was an explosion of strength, and their sharp horns were used as powerful weapons to drive the hyenas away. Some hyenas couldn't escape in time, and they were struck by the buffalo's sharp horns. This hyena was injured in the attack and was found lifeless hours later. Since you made it this far, we want to recommend these two amazing videos that are appearing on your screen. We're sure you'll like it very much. Just click and watch. We'll be waiting for you there. A big hug.